going on, guys? The Arcane here, back with a Dragon Ball The Breakers video. And in this video, I kind of want to do a discussion video discussing my thoughts on a raider I feel really strongly about, and that is Cell. So if you guys don't know, in the past, I've been very critical of Cell just because I feel like he's a very basic raider. And what I mean by basic is that he doesn't really have anything unique about him at all, right? So just kind of like going through the other raiders and what's unique about them is for Vegeta. Vegeta is a unique raider because if you die as the Saiyan, if you die as Nappa, you can still level up with no worries. And also you can turn into the ape. And the way you turn into the ape is by damaging survivors and waiting for that massive cooldown to go down to 0, right? You can't just get your level 4 by downing and executing civilians and survivors like you normally would with the other raiders. For Frieza, Frieza is a passive master, bro. His passives are actually insane. So if you guys don't know what his passives do, he actually gains evolution energy as he takes damage. So like, say if you're trying to defeat Frieza, but like he's about to get his level 4, you might not want to attack him anymore if he's like at full health, because you'll have to deal with a level 4. So it's just like playing around that can be really difficult. And also, if he finds the Namekians without Dragon Balls, he gets bonus in terms of evolution energy. And if people just summon Shenron, straight up, where is it? Yeah, if people just summon, let me move myself over. If people just summon Shenron, he gets evolution energy for free. Frieza could just level up for the survivors being good at the game. I'm sorry, my voice cracked. You could just level up for survivors being good at the game. You level up for free. Like literally, you level up for free with Frieza by survivors just playing well. If you damage him, he levels up. If you summon Shenron, he levels up. It's crazy, man. And then Frieza is also very strong because he is really good at camping. So like, say if you know, it gets in a scenario where Frieza destroys a super time machine and he needs to camp the remaining escape time machine beacons, he could send Zarbon on one, the Doria on another, and then he could camp the third one, right? And he can monitor how many are left. He's very, very good at doing that. His ki blasts are insane. And I want to just like talk about Frieza here. And Buu is very unique. So Buu is unique where his level 1 is trash. His level 1 is the worst of the game. Spopovich is actually doggy doo-doo. If you know what you were doing, you could take out Spopovich very easily. I mean, you just need to grow up on him. He has no knockback ability. He has no way to end a combo on survivors. Like if you're comboing Spoppy, he just has to take it, bro. He can't fight back, bro. He can't fight back. He can just shoot lasers, call Yamu, who gaslights you when he says you have enough energy when you don't, bro. The amount of times Yamu said I have enough energy when I absorb a civilian and I don't, it's insane. Why does he say that? Why does he gaslight me? Anyways, but the coolest thing about Buu is that when you finally get your level 4, Buu absorbs everybody into his stomach. And the only way to escape is to free Fat Buu. And if you're going against a really good raider, or if the raider finds out where Fat Buu is before you, they can just camp Fat Buu. And the moves Super Buu has access to is insane. He has this ill bomber move where he can literally just turn invisible and just sneak up on you and appear out of a blink of an eye. The only thing that's bad about this move is that you can't cancel out of it early. You kind of have to wait for it to be done. But Go-Go Gum, which is absolutely insane for Buu. You basically just hold Survivor in place, hit him with a super attack, hit him with a melee combo, just spam the with ki blast, do whatever you like, just screw off, just say bye-bye, buddy, and just fly away, right? You don't even have to defeat them at all. He has ki detection, and his super attacks are absolutely insane. He has full power blast volley, and he has ill rain. And what's good about ill rain is that it can kind of actually reveal where survivors are because it locks on to where they are. It homes in on them, right? So Buu is very, very strong. And he also has an insane super attack at level 4, Assault Rain, which can completely wipe teams if they don't know what they're doing in a blink of an eye. So Cell, what does Cell have? He levels up fast. That's it. That's all Cell does. He just levels up fast. That's all he does. That's all he's good for. And it's just so boring, so basic, and so bare bones. And if you guys don't know, actually, let me go ahead and pull this up. And hopefully I can go find this. This might take me a hot minute. I'll be right back. All right, that actually took me longer than I expected. But yeah, so we found this. This was actually in December. This was before Cell received his buff of him leveling up so fast, right? So Cell actually had the weakest win-loss rate out of all of the raiders in the game. So Boo was the highest at nearly 50%. And the yellow bar is basically survivors escaping, and orange is the raiders winning outright. So Boo surprisingly was the highest. I figured that Boo was kind of like a high skilled base raider just because of how easily Spopovich can be taken out and the lower levels of Boo. But when you go against randoms, of course, that doesn't play into a role, so that's why that. Frieza obviously very, very good, and Cell honestly not too much lower, but they felt it was necessary to adjust Cell. At this point, I actually thought Cell is probably one of the easiest raiders to play, but out of the 3 raiders, they said Cell's rate of victory is slightly lower. In order to improve this, we implement the following adjustments. So they decrease the amount of evolution gauge required to progress from evolution 3 to level 4. So if you guys don't know what this means, basically Cell only needs to absorb 2 survivors at level 3 to get his level 4. Two survivors, bro. And one of Cell's passive abilities is already life absorption. Life absorption, brother. Do you know what that means? Every time you absorb somebody, I'm talking a survivor, I'm talking a civilian, you get a boost in your evolution gauge, and they buff that on top of this. So my issue with Cell, right, let's go ahead and look at his moveset. He has key detection. This is very good. He's one of the earliest raiders to get key detection so early in the match, right? And this is very, very good at finding survivors. And say if you find a survivor, you chase them, you lose them, you could pop key detection again, find them again, and 9 times out of 10, that survivor would have already used his dragon change. He would have already used his bike. He would have already used his active skills to escape you, so you could find him again, take him out, and be on your merry way to your level 3 and onward, right? And his after image actually is an ability that I think is very good in the sense that it's used for escaping purposes, and it's also used for traversal, but it does have a drawback. Cell mains probably know this, but when the Super Time Machine is spawned, you have no way of dealing an AoE move. So if you guys don't know how it works on the Super Time Machine, if you try to use a super attack, if you try to use a key blast, while you're, so say, my head is the Super Time Machine, right? This is a survivor working on the Super Time Machine. This is the raider firing key blast. The Super Time Machine blocks the key blast, so the survivor does not take any damage. They can continue to work on the Super Time Machine. Super attacks don't go through the Super Time Machine. Key blasts don't go through the Super Time Machine. So the way you counteract this is by using Frieza's Break Strike, is by using Boo's Angry Shout, is by using Nappa's Key Explosion, is by using Vegeta's Explosive Wave. This is an AoE ability that hits everyone surrounding the Super Time Machine. Cell does not have this. So when survivors are using the Super Time Machine for cover, the only option that he really has is the full power energy blast volley. But if this move is on cooldown, if this move gets canceled, or if they're positioned in a way where this blast doesn't hit them, then you're kind of SOL. Shit out of luck, right? So I think the issue with Cell isn't necessarily that he's a bad raider, it's just that his kit isn't that great. And that's what, well, I take that back. It's that his kit isn't great, and I think that's what makes him a bad raider. And I feel like instead of the devs reworking his kit, making it more unique, and making him have something that stands out from the other raiders besides leveling up fast, then he would be a much better raider, a much more interesting raider. I love Cell. Cell is one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball Z. I am not a Cell hater by any stretch of the imagination. I just think he's very basic in the breakers. His all clear move is okay. His perfect Kamehameha is iconic. I understand why he has that. But he just has basic Key Blast, man. In his level 4, he just has basic Key Blast. Dude, what about the move that he sniped Trunks with when he revived? Why is there no, like, revive feature that Cell has? Because Cell revived, that was a whole thing that he had, right? Why isn't there a move when Cell is level 3? Like, say if he's getting beat up, he can turn big and explode like he did in the anime, right? And then regenerate. That would be sick. Why don't they add that? Like, bro, I don't work for the Breakers devs. Why don't they add this, guys? And I've had arguments, not arguments, but discussions with people that are big Cell defenders who think Cell is the strongest in the game. And it's ironic because Cell probably is the strongest in the Raider in the game. And you want to know why? It's because he levels up fast. And to me, that doesn't make Cell strong. That just allows him to acquire the inherent advantage that Raiders receive being higher than the Survivors. If a Survivor is level 1 and Cell is level 2, the Survivor can't engage Cell in melee combat. Melee combat is so important in the Breakers because it allows you to hold the Raider in place while other Survivors can dish out super attacks. But if Cell is constantly a level above Survivors, then they can't do that. And that doesn't mean they can never land super attacks on Cell. Of course they can, but it's definitely a lot easier when they are the same level or a level higher than Cell. So when you go up against the Cell, you need to go for the civilians as soon as possible because Cell can level up so quickly because of his one passive, his one good passive, which is life absorption. His other passive is key tracking, extends the area of when you find a Survivor. This is annoying and it can be good, but it's just not anything that stands out to me, right? Like, Boo has key sense, so that automatically makes Cell less unique if another Raider has key sense. If Cell was the only Raider in the game that had key sense, that would make him unique and make him stand out. But Boo has it. Boo has it, you know what I mean? The only thing that Cell has that makes him stand out is that he can level up faster by downing Survivors and civilians, right? But Frieza and Boo technically have this too, a little bit. Turn into candy increases your evolution energy when you absorb people. What's this one? You really know how to piss me off. Increases evolution energy, although it be in a specific scenario. You get extra evolutionary when you down energy when you down a Namekian without a Dragon Ball. So, like, other Raiders have this same similar type of passive. It's just a basic passive, and it's just like, I feel like Cell is more deserving of something unique. Of course, you know, the larva thing, he levels up very fast. He gets into his level 2 instantaneously, practically, right? But guess what? Not Spopovich. You can do the same thing with 8 Vegeta, bro. If you get a Namekian, or if you get a Survivor really quick, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes you just straight up get lucky with these other Raiders, and you get 4 civvies at your spawn, and with that, you get your level 2 anyway, kind of defeating the purpose of Cell leveling up so fast. So my whole thing with Cell, I know this rant has been going on a long time, is that each Raider has the opportunity to level up very quickly. So making that Cell's whole shtick is kind of lame. You know what I mean? Because you could spawn as Spopovich, who's arguably the worst level 1, and luckily, or you know, you could have a lucky spawn and get 4 civvies right next to you, get them all, return to the egg, and get your level 2 within a minute, just as Cell can get his level 2 within a minute. Arguably, he could get his in like 30 seconds, but still, all the Raiders have the opportunity to get their level 2 within a minute in the right scenario. But in that right scenario, it's the same thing for Cell. It's not like he can go up 2 levels, like really, really fast. Like, my whole thing is that being a higher level than Survivors is an inherent advantage anyway. That's not exclusive to Cell. So I think they need to look back at his kit. Solar Flare is a unique move to Cell, which is cool. It's okay. It's not that great. After Image is good in certain, well, not even certain scenarios. It's just the only option he has, right, to break away from combos, and it can be used to traverse the map. If you're trying to get some, if you're trying to get closer on a Survivor, you could pop this and get closer to them faster. I've used this to move around too, which is a very cool usage of After Image. You can also cancel it, by the way, by dodging, which is cool. And he has early access to key detection. But like I said, Boo has access to key detection, kind of like losing the luster of Cell. But yeah, guys, I don't know. Am I crazy? Like, do you guys know what I'm talking about? It just feels like out of all the Raiders here, Cell is the least unique. Like, Frieza has Zarbon and Dodoria. He has insane passives. Boo has the absorption thing. You get to play as multiple characters. You get to play as Spopovich. You get to play as Fat Boo. Super Boo, I kind of consider them separate characters because Fat Boo and Super Boo aren't the same, if that makes any sense. Vegeta, you get to place different characters, and the Cyberman works really cool. The 8 Vegeta form is very cool. Where Cell is just very, very basic. Of course, it is the first raider in the game, but I'm hoping they go back and they adjust some of the abilities that you can have, because there's going to be a point where people like max out all the abilities they have, and then what's the point of playing Cell anymore? What's the point of playing the raider that you have maxed out? So I just hope that they go back and adjust not only the moves of Cell, but just the moves of other raiders, because wouldn't it be cool to get Golden Frieza with Frieza? Like maybe you get an alternate level 4 or something like that. I don't know, just stuff like that. I'm spitballing here. But anyways, guys, this was a little rant video of my issue with Cell. I know there's going to be a lot of Cell defenders in the comments, but I want to hear your opinions, guys. Like I like to think I'm very open to criticism of my opinions, and I like to have the conversation, right? If you think Cell is fine the way he is, great, let me know. But I definitely think he could use some tweaking. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with my thoughts. If you disagree, like the video if you enjoyed it. For more Dragon Ball The Breakers updates, news, discussion videos like these, make sure to sub to the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.